All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Fox Farm Brewery, and they are out of Salem, Connecticut, and this is their Allora. So they're calling this one a Citra and Mosaic IPA, comes in at 6.4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just under 1 month old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out to a friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Steven, for hooking me up with this one. So in the description box, I'll post a link to the Beer Mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Steven hooked me up with, and he actually sent me 2 Fox Farm beers. I'm super excited to give him a review. He actually hooked me up with a Fox Farm beer back in the summer at the 2021 Beer Tuber Palooza, hosted by a good friend of ours and fellow beer tuber Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews. And it was a little bit older. When he gave it to me, it was about 3 months old. I didn't drink it till about the 4-month old mark, and it was Tangle, I believe. It was their Tangle, and it was good, but you could tell it had lost some of its luster with age, so I didn't review it. I did post it on Untappd. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. It was good, but he sent me 2 pretty fresh Fox Farm beers this time around. I have this one, and I have their Burrow, which is a double IPA, and that one's just under 6 weeks old. So I wanted to start with the lower ABV one first, just to see what a 6.4% Citra and Mosaic IPA from Fox Farm is like, and I'm pretty excited. So let's crack this one open, get it into a glass, and go from there. So yeah, like I said, really excited about Fox Farm stuff. I've heard nothing but good things over the past couple years. So yeah, anyway, let's give it a pour here. Yeah, that's pouring out like a lighter hazy of some sort. Go like there so I can get my nose in there. I really like the simplistic labels too of Fox Farm stuff. I enjoy it. Anyway, yeah. On camera it's gonna be dull, always is, but in person it has this very vibrant yellow-orange color. Almost looks like a orange juice, honestly, with about a finger and a half of this really super creamy white head. It's super murky, turbid, hazy, the whole 9. That looks beautiful. That totally looks like a 6.4% hazy of some sort. It's good nose. That smells fucking awesome. I'm getting freshly squeezed OJ vibes. Big citrus blast to this one. Orange juice, tangerine, but more of like an actual full-on juice to it. Not like biting into those fruits, like the actual flesh part, but more of a juice. Touch of stone fruit. Underneath that, more of like a sweeter, over-ripened peach. Maybe an apricot, but more peach than anything. The base malt has this nice, like, doughy, almost slightly bready kind of feeling to it. And it's kind of weird. I don't get, a lot of malt character. And a lot of these beers, you don't want to get malt character, obviously. You don't want to be malt forward. You want that malt to kind of carry all those hops to your palate, right? But this one, I'm getting like a slight, like, doughy type of malt character. It's not big, but it's definitely noticeable. And I find that to be the case in like sub 7% hop forward beers nowadays. I definitely get the malts a little bit more. There's a touch of like a grassiness on the back of this one. Yeah, a grassy, floral, almost like slight herbaceousness, but I'd say more of a grassy note than anything from the hops. It smells so soft. Like the nose smells like it's going to be soft on the palate. It smells like it's going to have like a decent intensity, but it's going to be well-rounded and very balanced. It's really nice. It's not like a crazy nose, but what's here is a delicate yet somewhat intense to some degree. Like it's kind of crazy. I just want to smell this, but we got to taste it. So cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Steven. That's really, really nice. Really nice beer. So crushable. And here's the thing. I get the malt, and there's a nice, like almost moderate bitterness, mild to moderate bitterness, but closer to moderate on the back of the palate. Really cool. So body on this one, holy shit. Body on this one's like straight up medium body for 6.4%. That's beautiful. It has a little bit more heft than I thought. It doesn't have like a watery or very light body. And a lot of these, sub 6.5% beers, sometimes, they're 6.5%. So you're expecting it to kind of be in the realm of like a higher side of light or lower side of medium. But this has like a straight on medium body. The mouthfeel, super soft. I mean, there's carbonation, and it's a beer, and there's carbonation by just pouring it, looking at it. And when it gets on the palate, it's like, okay, there's carbonation, but it has such a soft, smooth kind of like edge to the mouthfeel. But it works so beautifully. Like it just slides down the throat. It's really, the body and mouthfeel are really superb, honestly. The qualities of the actual beer itself up front, I'm hit with that malt. It has this doughy, almost crackery kind of malt sensation, and it's omnipresent throughout the palate, and it's underlying at all times, but it never really becomes a predominant note until like the back of the palate for me. Like it's riding underneath all those hops and that sneaks in the back. But the nose pretty much translates into the taste from the fruit characters, tons of OJ vibes, big tangerine notes, peach, sweeter peach, not quite like a peach gummy ring or a candied peach, but like an overripened, really sweet, juicy peach. And then midway through the palate to maybe 3/4 of the way through the palate, a really nice grassiness hits, and a very slight floral, almost herbaceous kind of hop note. Kind of is, I wouldn't say it's big. It's not intense. It's not punching me in the face, but it sneaks in and lets its presence be known on the back of the palate, which is nice. And that's what you're kind of finished with, except for that underlying malt rises up again and hits me, and it's a little bit of like a crackery malt on the back of the palate, along with like a pithy, almost bittering, like rindy orange sensation. So it's kind of weird how it starts off and ends, but in a really good way. 6.4%, sure. No astringency whatsoever, no warming in the chest and the stomach, nothing of that. Yeah, this is really well made. Is it amazing or anything? No, but it's a 6.4% Citra and Mosaic beer where you're getting enough fruit quality here. It's very balanced. On the back of the palate, it's semi-dry with a, like I said, more of approaching a moderate bitterness. So while that sweet, malty, fruity goodness at the front of the palate is hitting you right away, and you might be lulled into a false sense of confidence that this one's going to be sweeter, on the back of the palate, it evens it out, balances it out. So this is a very balanced. Like I said, right when I tasted it and kind of smelled it, I knew this was going to be like a crushable 6.4% IPA, and it totally is. So not much more to say about it. Pour the rest in here, and we'll give it a rating. Yeah, so this is my first true Fox Farm beer that's fresh and everything, and I'm really digging this one. Like I said, not mind-blowing, but really fucking good. So Allora from Fox Farm, I am going to give this a high 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.35 out of 5. It's fucking delicious. There's been a couple Hop Butcher beers that I've had that have been very similar to this. Some of their like just regular IPAs that are around 6.5%, where you do get the malt, and it's nice to have that kind of malt sweetness, but also malt character in conjunction with the hops. And I love that this has, like I said, almost approaching a moderate bitterness, semi-dry, but has enough sweetness to kind of balance it all out. So it's a super easy drinking 6.4% IPA with some really nice flavors, and I'm digging it. So price point and availability. Price point on this one, I looked at their website. This was $4.25 a can because they sell them by the can, which I believe would translate into a $17 4-pack, which kind of is the going rate for something like this. 16, 17 bucks is kind of what you're paying for a, almost 6.5% Citra and Mosaic IPA. So price point's fine for the market. And the availability, Steven, anybody else out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is brewery only. You got to go to the brewery to pick them up, and that's all I know about it. So huge thanks to Steven for this one. I can't wait to get into their burrow, see what a double IPA from them can be, relatively fresh, and yeah, really fun one to try for my first ever Fox Farm beer. So I'm really digging this one. I'm gonna go drink the rest off camera. And once again, thanks to Steven. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.